Hello. How are we doing? Sorry, that was a longer starting soon than I anticipated. Mainly because my blood sugar dropped suddenly in the middle of, well, at the start of that. And made me feel very sleepy. Oh well. Anyway, I'm here now. Yay, it paused. Right, should we start watching stuff? Okay, let's start with Nvidia. Because that's the tab I happen to be on. Got a beer. Also got tea. Because why not both? Let's start.
Hi everyone, Happy New Year and welcome to our special event. I will kick it off with gaming and creators, and then Ali Khani will talk about developments in autonomous vehicles. So let's get started.
Fun. Why have they bound RTX to escape? That seems an
epic journey.
Interesting choice.
Vast unknown. Through countless ages and across infinite galaxies of untold beauty and unfathomable danger.
Is that Keith David?
Carve your own path, never veering, never waning. Always outnumbered, never outgunned. Chasing down destiny as you peer into the eyes of defeat and quietly say, "You're next." Yes, this is what you're here for. This is why you came. This is your world. So what are you waiting for? RTX. It's on.
Them's definitely some games. And some previously
Gaming is
PlayStation
huge.
games.
People no longer ask if it will keep growing. Of course it will. Now the question is, how big will it get? There are almost 3 billion gamers in the world.
At least this
with
big, I'm
150
thinking.
million more people gaming this year. Today, the
I want
market for
gaming
games
to
and
be
gaming
that
hardware
big,
is
at
almost
least.
$300 billion, up $70 billion from just 3 years ago. Esports continues to be an important driver. League of Legends World's 2021 Finals drew 74 million peak concurrent viewers. The 2021
Say
Dota
for
2
people who hate
International paid out
themselves.
a $40 million prize pool. All told, esports has an online audience of 460 million viewers. And people are tuning into all types of gaming content. There are now 10 million unique streaming
I
channels
have
on
had
Twitch,
some fun with League of Legends,
doubling
to
over
be
the
fair.
past 2 years. 750 million people watched gaming content online in 2021. And the gaming universe is expanding into virtual worlds with their own economies. Roblox has attracted 200 million monthly users. Lil Nas X hosted a concert
Users.
inside a Roblox
Interesting
in
word.
front of
What word?
33 million fans. This is also fueling virtual reality, where headsets are expected
You know
to
what
grow
else we
4
describe
times
as
in the next 4
users
years.
rather
But it's
than,
not just about playing.
you know,
There are
as a
45
word.
million professionals and freelance creators fueling an explosion in digital content. They will become the builders of our 3D digital worlds. And as the gaming experience extends into these vast, open virtual worlds, some see an opportunity.
What kind of users?
in the
Exactly.
trillions. Over the past 20 years, we have dedicated ourselves to build the best platform for gamers and creators. Not just to delight our customers, but to develop graphics technologies that enable game developers and creative ISVs to do some really amazing work. At the heart of the platform is our GPU and a history of revolutionary architectures like RTX. All told, we have shipped almost 1.5 billion GPUs. And on top of the hardware comes a massive investment in our software stack that harnesses the GPU to deliver graphics innovations like game-ready drivers, DLSS, G-Sync, Reflex, Nvidia Broadcast, Max-Q, Omniverse, and Geforce Now. With billions of devices,
Some of that is even on
unable to play the
Linux.
latest games, it's no surprise that cloud gaming is expected to grow to over
I love how they
100
include
million
B-roll of people
subscribers
on a college
by
campus playing
2024.
games on their phones with
For
those
these gamers,
controller
we built
accessories.
Geforce Now, delivering GeForce class gaming to
Well,
over 15 million
yeah.
members around the globe on Chromebook, Macs, Shield TV, Android and iOS phones,
Hang on, is that
and
Murray?
powered PCs. GeForce Now has
One second. That emote. Is that Murray? That looks like Murray from Monkey Island 3. Anyway.
over 1,100 PC games, including 90 free-to-play. From the leading PC game stores, including Steam, Epic Games, Ubisoft Connect, and EA Origin.
Ooh,
And extending
Ubisoft.
our partnership with EA, I'm excited to announce that Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5 are available on GFN starting today. Be sure to tune in to GFN Thursdays, where every week we onboard new
I will
games for our
say,
members.
to be fair, Ubisoft
We've
Connect
also
was
been
not a
working with the
worse
world's
experience on
largest TV
Linux
manufacturers
than
to
it
bring
was on
GeForce Now
Windows,
to millions more living rooms.
which is a
Last
pretty
month, we
fucking
launched
low
a beta
bar.
version of GFN on LG 2021 WebOS smart TVs.
Oh God,
Today, we're
WebOS.
pleased to announce a partnership with Samsung.
I feel sorry for WebOS. Used to be good. WebOS used to be the operating system of Palm. What's the word? PDAs, and they were good. I had one. I used to have one at uni. I found it in a box of old stuff. It sadly got it got thrown to the side when I got my first iPhone 4. My first iPhone, which was an iPhone 4. I didn't have many iPhone 4s. That would have been a thing. So yeah, Palm, that was what WebOS used to be, and then Palm got bought by HP, I want to say. And they did what HP always do when they buy things. They fucking destroy them, and then it became LG, and now it's the shitty TV OS of LG smart TVs. That's how the mighty have fallen. It used to be a good OS. Now it's just yeah. No. The less said about smart TVs, the better.
To integrate GeForce Now into their smart TVs. Starting in Q2, Samsung smart TVs will be streaming PC-class gaming with GFN. The rapid expansion of 5G offers the potential for low-latency cloud gaming everywhere. So we've teamed with AT&T and their fast, reliable 5G network to bring the power...
One sec. I need to move... Oh, shit. I need to move my camera out the way of... Tell you what, should I put... I want to move stuff out the way of the subtitles, if at all possible. Let's move you up there. By you, I mean me. And then chat can go there. That should work. I do enjoy the Nvidia Shield. I use it to stream stuff on my TV. Yeah, it's clear that Nvidia is saying, you know what? We're not in, the consoles apart from the Switch. Fuck them. We don't need consoles. Use your TV. As in game straight on the TV. And sure, I'm not a fan of streaming games, but as in playing them from servers. But sure, I guess if some people like that, it's the thing you can
Power
do.
of PC gaming to mobile devices. As a 5G technical
It's the first time I played Tomb
partner,
Raider. Interesting.
GeForce Now on the AT&T 5G network offers ultra-responsive cloud gaming on the go. We also have an exclusive offer to announce. Starting today, AT&T customers
You
with
hate
a
that
5G
controller.
device on a qualifying
What's
plan
it like?
can get a 6-month GeForce Now priority
Is it that
membership
thing?
at no charge.
Probably not.
GeForce Now members get access
Is it
to
like
the
that
latest
thing?
GeForce
Oh
technology.
God, I'm really covering up the subtitles. Oof. Let's move you up there.
Our new
Oh,
RTX
DMG.
3080
Okay.
tier of service, powered by the GeForce Now SuperPods, is the first to support 120 frames per second at 1440p on PCs, up to 1600p on MacBooks, and 4K with HDR on Shield TV. Available today at just $99 for a 6-month membership. Play the most demanding PC games, no waiting, no downloads, on the latest GeForce RTX hardware in the cloud. RTX momentum continues to build. Ray tracing and AI are defining the next generation of content. Since last CES, we've added over 150 RTX games and applications. And gamers have logged over 1 billion hours of RTX playtime. The Day Before from Fantastic is an open-world MMO survival set in a deadly post-pandemic America, overrun by flesh-hungry infected and survivors. It's in the top 10 most anticipated games on the Steam wishlist. Today we are announcing The Day Before will launch June 21st with RTX on, including ray tracing and DLSS on GeForce and
OBS has
GeForce Now.
RTX.
Here's a first look at
What?
The Day Before with
I
RTX
don't
on.
understand. Go back 30 seconds. Here?
Post-pandemic America, overrun by flesh-hungry infected and survivors. It's in the top 10 most anticipated games on
It
the
shows
Steam
a
wishlist.
list.
Today we are announcing The Day Before will launch June 21st, run by world hours of RTX playtime.
Oh, you mean here, this? RTX, a new standard. I don't understand. I do. No? Like, I mean, OBS will just capture and, just capture anything that I put on it. Like, I get the OB stuff and resolve. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what OBS is doing there. I mean, I can just, it's not exactly going to add, can you imagine that? If I were playing a game without RTX and OBS were adding it in for the benefit of my viewers, but not me. Like, what? Does it help with processing or something? Maybe it means RTX voice, actually. That would make sense. Because RTX voice is a plugin for the Windows version of OBS. Not Linux. Yet. That I know of. Like, I think there's, maybe it's got also the green screen effects and things like that. Because they use, RTX.
The Day Before from Fantastic is an open-world MMO survival.
Nvidia broadcast available on Linux. Not that I'm aware of.
Overrun by flesh-hungry infected.
Haven't looked in a while though.
Most anticipated games on the Steam wishlist. Today we are announcing The Day Before will launch June 21st with RTX on, including ray tracing and DLSS on GeForce and GeForce Now. Here's a first look at The Day Before with RTX on.
I don't know, maybe
With
I
over
think more of
70 million
RTX if I play
players,
more
Tom
games that
Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege from
support it.
Ubisoft
So
has
far, I've
become
only
one of the
played Quake.
biggest competitive shooters.
Quake
The
2.
next game in the series, Rainbow Six Extraction, gamers will compete in a tactical co-op FPS as they engage, contain, and eliminate the mysterious creatures known as the Archeans. Today we are announcing that Rainbow Six Extraction, launching January 20th, will be RTX On featuring DLSS and available on Geforce and Geforce Now. Here's a first look at DLSS in Rainbow Six Extraction.
So the irony is you're watching this in 720p. So have fun seeing the difference with DLSS. And to be fair, with YouTube compression, even in 4K, I'm not really seeing a representative view of how good the reconstruction is.
Escape from Tarkov is an online first-person action game. Players battle through the war-torn city of Tarkov, which has been sealed off by UN and Russian military forces. Escape from Tarkov quickly became one of the top 10 most played competitive shooters. Last June, RTX gamers gained a competitive edge with Nvidia Reflex. We are extending our partnership with Battlestate Games to bring more performance with the addition of DLSS. Let's take a look.
There's a helicopter.
Everybody, on me.
It's just weird they never saying what graphics card they're actually using to get this level of performance. So if it's a 3090, it's kind of not that impressive. If it's a 3060, then fair enough. That's yeah.
Dying Light, the tremendously successful open-world action RPG
Yay,
by
more
Techland,
zombies.
had over 23 million players worldwide. The highly anticipated sequel, Dying Light 2,
Yet more
will be
zombies.
launching February 4th with RTX On, featuring ray tracing and DLSS. It's available on both GeForce and GeForce Now. Here's an exclusive look at never-before-seen RTX On action.
Right, that kind of puddle didn't look great, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the Dying Light looked like it was a nice looking game, but zombies aren't really my thing. Wow. Stomp.
For competitive gamers, milliseconds are the difference between winning and losing. We ask gamers to check out the benefits of lower latency gaming with our System Latency Challenge. Early results show up to 2 times aiming improvement, and this is why 8 of the top 10 competitive shooters have integrated Nvidia Reflex, our low latency gaming platform. And gamers love it. Over 20 million GeForce players compete with Reflex On each month. And the hardware ecosystem continues to grow. Our Reflex Latency Analyzer allows players to easily measure system latency with a single click of the mouse. We now have over 50 Reflex mice and monitors from 16 partners. While Reflex is critical for competitive matches, lower latency is important in any game, as it better connects the gamer and their physical actions to those in the game. Today we are announcing 7 more Reflex games and extending Reflex into new genres. These include iRacing, where you can steer with better precision in the world's premier online racing simulator. Rainbow Six Extraction, where Reflex has your 6 as you confront Archeans. And Sony's award-winning God of War. Beat the boss with better dodges and combos when it launches on PC on January 14th. Let's take a look.
Ready yourself, boy.
Next week. That's interesting. God of War does look really good.
With the global
Ouch.
growth in esports, the demand for esports displays has been doubling each year. We believe the time is right to take esports to a new level. Today we're announcing a new category of esports displays: 1440p 27-inch G-Sync and up to 360 Hz.
That's a
with
lot of
new
hertz.
esports vibrance and reflex latency analyzer. These displays are also dual format. They can switch to 1080p 25-inch if that's preferred for certain games. Here's Seth to fill in the details.
1080p displays have ruled esports for over a decade, as the lower resolution has enabled higher frame rates and faster refresh rates. But our research shows that larger, higher resolution panels improve aiming performance, providing larger and more detailed targets to acquire. In fact, 1440p 27-inch displays can improve aiming by up to 3% over traditional 1080p 24-inch displays. For competitive gamers, that's huge. With today's high-end Geforce Rtx GPUs rendering esports games well above 360 FPS at 1440p, the industry is primed for a change. Today, Nvidia is announcing a new class of 1440p 27-inch G-Sync esports displays. These displays feature industry-leading refresh rates up to 360 Hz for the smoothest, lowest latency gaming. Esports tune vibrance color
I'm gonna be
profiles
honest,
powered by mini
I
LED
can see the
backlights and
difference
oxide
between
transistors
60 Hz and
make targets pop
120
from the
Hz
screen.
when they're side by
Enhanced,
side.
easier-to-use reflex analyzer
And that's
automatically
about it.
measures system latency, so gamers can head into competition with full confidence in their PC's performance. And if gamers still want to play a match at 1080p, the monitor features a special dual-format 25-inch 1080p mode. The future of esports monitors is here, with new displays available soon from AOC, ASUS, MSI, and ViewSonic.
A decade ago, we introduced the
Are we there?
50 class GPU, offering gamers great performance on the latest architecture at an affordable price. It was the first step up into GTX gaming. In fact, 3 of the top 5 GPUs on Steam are GTX 50 class, and one of the most successful is the GTX 1050. When it was released in 2016,
What do you know?
the
A lot of
GTX
people buy
1050 could
things that
power
are
the
cheap.
top games of the time at over 60 frames
Mind
per second.
blown.
But the production value of games continues to rise, and modern games need much more GPU horsepower. The GTX 1050 struggles to keep up. Even a 1050 Ti or the more modern GTX 1650 can't power the latest games at 60 frames per second. Today,
Yes.
we are announcing the RTX 3050. The Geforce
When was
RTX
the
3050 brings the
When was the 1050 released? It was what? 2016? Something like that? 17, 18, 19, 21, 20. That's 6 years ago. And it, for like a very, very low end, of course it can't keep. Never mind.
performance and efficiency of the Ampere architecture to more gamers than ever before. It powers the latest games at over 60 frames per second. Based on our Ampere architecture, the 3050 comes equipped with 2nd generation RT cores
How
for
much
ray
does it
tracing
cost?
and 3rd generation Tensor cores for DLSS and AI.
So at least they're
For the
not
first
locking
time,
those
you can
things
play
off
ray
for
trace
the
games on a
budget
50 class
gamers.
GPU at over 60 frames per second. Ray tracing is a new standard in gaming, and the 3050 makes it more accessible than ever. The RTX 3050 comes equipped with 8 gigabytes of G6.
$249. So this is about $50 more than the GTX 1060 was when that launched. So they keep comparing it to the 1050, but it's also gone up 2 price tiers since then. And actually, if you remember, the GTX 960, so the generation before that, again, a tier up, was $150. just a reminder of how much this low end the price of the low end has inflated over the years. Because holy shit, for a very, very bottom end entry tier graphics card, this is an obscenely high price. Like, to get something lower end than this, you're looking at, you know, integrated graphics. So as the starting price to get into PC gaming, ooh, we don't have a bottom end anymore. We don't have an entry tier. Like, the entry tier into PC gaming is, whoa, normally it'll be buy a console. I can't do that though. Oh. This didn't even used to be mid-range. This used to be upper mid-range. This was like GTX 770 price at one point. Like approaching your $300. Everything's got so expensive. And this isn't even scalper price.
Memory. And starting at just $249, it
Just.
will be available worldwide on January 27th from all of our partners. With 75% of gamers still on GTX GPUs, this is the perfect time to step up to RTX. We are at the dawn of the next digital frontier. Interconnected 3D virtual worlds, whether for commerce, entertainment, creativity, or industry, are being built today. These worlds are boundless and will be populated with shops, homes, people, robots, factories, museums, an infinite amount of 3D content. And they will be built by an expanding number of creators, collaborating across the globe, constructing these amazing virtual environments. For this future, we've built Nvidia Studio, a fully accelerated platform for creators. It starts with RTX, the most advanced GPU architecture with hardware acceleration for ray tracing, simulation, and AI, and Nvidia high-performance video processors. The Nvidia Studio software includes specialized drivers and dozens of SDKs, which accelerate over 200 of the industry's top creative applications. We also offer our own studio apps, with the latest edition, Nvidia Omniverse for 3D design and collaboration. Today, we are announcing that Nvidia Omniverse is out of beta and generally available to Geforce Rtx Studio creators. 3D content is challenging to produce. It typically requires multiple tools, which are often incompatible. And then you have to wait for long render times. Omniverse brings over 20 years of NVIDIA's groundbreaking work in graphics, AI, simulation, and compute.
Omniverse, I was thinking that.
To transform 3D workflows. Let me explain how it works. Omniverse connects independent 3D design worlds together into a shared virtual space. The connecting language of Omniverse is USD, or Universal
I bet it
Scene
is.
Description, which you
United
can
States
think of
dollars.
as the HTML of 3D worlds. Today, a 3D artist typically works sequentially across multiple applications, like 3ds Max for modeling, then Substance Painter for texturing, and finally Unreal Engine to arrange the scene, exporting and importing large files many times along the way.
Sorry enough for the problem, the render times go down.
Artists connect their apps and then compose the combined scene using Omniverse.
Buy more AWS
Once in
time.
Omniverse, an artist can draw on NVIDIA's superpowers, like physics, which can let artists use true-to-reality simulations that obey the laws of physics, and RTX Renderer to see the scene in real time, fully ray-traced or path-traced. Omniverse also lets you collaborate with another artist.
Am I being daft? This is just cloud compute. Are they just rebranded cloud computing?
Changes made by one designer are reflected back to
I don't want to obey the laws of physics. I know, I have to obey the laws of physics in my day-to-day life.
This is the future of 3D creation and how virtual worlds will be built.
Hey, that was gravity. Speak of the laws of physics. Newtonian gravity, but still.
Did you know that white rhinos and black rhinos are both gray?
They're both extinct. This reminds me of the... Is it the Heaven benchmark? That was pretty back in the day. It's probably still pretty now. I'm not around that in ages. Well, that probably doesn't stress modern graphics cards, does it?
ISVs to transform 3D workflows. Today, Omniverse is connected to leading applications like 3ds Max, Maya, Blender, Unreal Engine, and many more to come. We now have several new additions to Omniverse. Today, we are announcing an even easier way for artists to collaborate with Nucleus Cloud. Now in early access, Nucleus Cloud simplifies Omniverse scene sharing. It's one click to collaborate, and your entire 3D scene is online. Leading 3D marketplaces are now featuring Omniverse-ready assets. Check out the collection of free assets now available in the Omniverse launcher.
So it
Omniverse Machinima
links
has been a big hit with creators who
to
love
cloud
games.
compute
It
services.
lets you remix and recreate
Is it
your
one
own game
itself?
cinematics with thousands of game assets and environments. We are now
Still not
adding
entirely sure what
MechWarrior
it
5
actually
and
is.
Warrior 3 assets to the Machinima library. Audio to Face is a revolutionary AI-enabled app that easily animates a 3D face with just an audio track.
Forgot about
We
audio
are
as a
now
face.
supporting
Yeah.
Plane Shape and direct export to Epic's
I mean,
MetaHuman.
iPhone has
AI,
something
powered
similar,
by
right?
Nvidia
I've
Studio,
never
opens up new capabilities for
seen it
creators.
used outside of
Individual
a
artists can now
single
do the work of
tech
large
demo.
teams. Application developers are quickly embracing the power of AI for content creation. Adobe Lightroom adds AI to quickly create detailed masks around subjects. Topaz Labs Video Enhance AI uses AI to upscale videos retaining higher details than traditional upscaling algorithms. Adobe 3D Substance Sampler uses AI to generate high-quality photoreal 3D materials from photographs. And Notch uses NVIDIA Maxine pose estimation to enable creators to drive a full-body rig with a single webcam. NVIDIA Studio also features Canvas, our application that instantly converts brushstrokes into photorealistic images. Today we are announcing a major update to the Canvas AI. Built from NVIDIA's Gauguin 2 research, the latest app produces...
Wait. That can't be an actual example. That can't be an actual example. I call BS and shenanigans. I agree that can't be an actual example. That would be comical. But this is kind of funny. Going from like a 5-year-old in MS Paint to fucking Michael Bay shit.
Canvas AI. Built from NVIDIA's Gauguin 2 research, the latest app produces images that are 4 times higher
I
resolution.
mean, I believe
with more
that.
detailed elements. It also adds new materials like
The MS
flowers
Paint
and
job
bushes.
doesn't even have a sunset.
The new
It's
Canvas
literally, you know what? You're right. It's literally like, I don't know. Even if you put that into an image search and it tried to find similar pictures, and you typed in, I don't know, landscape or something to help refine its search, I don't know if it would even find something like that.
update to the Canvas AI. Built from NVIDIA's Gauguin 2 research, the latest app produces images that are
I mean,
4
yeah,
times
that
higher
makes
resolution
sense. You've taken
with
something
more
that's low
detailed elements.
resolution and made it
It also adds new
basically the
materials like
same.
flowers and bushes. The new Canvas app is available free to download at nvidia.com.
I guess we could
Gamers
find
and
out.
creators have made Geforce
Downloading the
high-performance
beta. Yeah, why
laptops
not?
the fastest growing category in
Test it.
PCs. In the last year alone, 35%
Make
more
your
RTX
best
laptops were sold.
toddler in
And
MS
creators
Paint
have
job and
fueled a
see
3x jump
if
in
it can
3D
turn it
laptop
into
sales.
something
We are
realistic.
announcing over 160 new laptops, all built around our RTX 30 series GPUs. They include a wide range of form factors, like dual screen, easels, and convertibles. There are new 14-inch portable powerhouses.
Okay, but these dual screen laptops, I'm kind of curious. Fucking expensive. I'm still kind of curious. I would literally just use it for watching YouTube in bed, which is kind of not worth it. But I would use it. I'm again. I would use it for what I use my current laptop for, which is it would be on my bedside table. I would put a Twitch stream on while I nap, and then sleep through it. It's literally what I would use it for. It's what I use my current laptop for. That and updating for. I still have OpenSUSE Tumbleweed on it, which means I'm forever updating it, which is kind of funny given what that laptop is for and how up to date it does not need to be. Oh well.
And even more G-Sync and
Forever
1440p
updating.
displays.
I've not
As
updated
more
it in
gamers
weeks.
and
That's probably got
creators
over
turn to
1,000
laptops for
updates
their
by now.
primary PC, performance expectations continue to increase. At the same time, they are demanding sleek form factors and longer battery life. In 2017, we reimagined gaming laptop design with an extreme focus on efficiency.
Did you?
We developed a system design approach that delivers high performance in thin gaming and studio laptops. We called it Max-Q.
Oh, right,
It has
okay.
fundamentally changed how laptops are built.
I still don't like this. My last work laptop had an RTX Quadro in it, and I use it to stream videos mostly. To be fair, at least my current laptop is a 2014 Haswell i3 dual core. It's in its previous life on Windows, it would struggle with watching videos. So at least OpenSUSE has given it longevity that it didn't have before. I don't like the branding of Max-Q or Max-P. Like Max-Q. So you take an RTX 3080. You put it in a tiny laptop that doesn't have anywhere near enough cooling performance for that chip. So you run it at half the power and dramatically reduce clock speed, so it runs efficiently, quietly. And you've got an RTX 3080. It performs worse than a 3070 because of the very low power clock and everything else. But you get to charge full 3080 price for it. And it just means that if you're looking at a laptop, it makes it so much more complicated to look at what the performance of that laptop actually is. Because the Max-P 3070 will outperform the Max-Q 3080. And it's like, I get the point, the Max-Q being the thin and light, quiet, low power, the Max-P being the balls to the wall max performance. But I don't know, I think there was probably there's got to have been a better way to market it than how they did, because it's just needlessly confusing. I'm going to take this hoodie off. It's kind of hot.
We optimize everything.
It's 18 degrees, but it's kind of hot.
Fans, display, board design, laptop construction, even optimal settings for games. Today, we are announcing the 4th generation Max-Q technologies. Let me show you what we've done. On laptops, power is shared between the GPU and CPU. CPU efficiency is critical for maximizing performance, so we developed CPU Optimizer. We've worked with CPU vendors to create a new, low-level framework, enabling the GPU to further optimize the performance, temperature, and power of next-generation CPUs. As a result, CPU efficiency is improved and power is transferred to the GPU for more gaming performance. For creators and students who rely on compute-heavy apps like Adobe Premiere, Blender, or MATLAB, we've developed rapid core scaling.
So what happens if you're playing, I don't know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, not Odyssey, Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity. It will quite happily max a modern GPU still, but will also use the entirety of my 16 cores for the crowd physics and AI. Like, okay, I get the idea that in most games you're GPU bound, so you don't need the CPU using all the power. What if you're not? What if you've got a game that just scales with both? I guess you just throttle. I guess something thermal throttles. Fun.
It enables the GPU to sense the...
I just noticed my cursor changes. What? Chromium has its own cursor. What? That's so weird. Classic now, especially if you're streaming. Yeah, exactly. Especially as, hang on, it's all about CPU vendors, let's be real. It's, you know, either AMD or Intel. Intel CPUs are big little now. Like, they've got their own efficiency cores to deal with this shit. So how does that even work? So why does Chromium have its own cursor? That's so strange.
real-time demands of the application and use only the cores it needs. This frees up power that can be used to run the active cores at higher frequencies, delivering up to 3 times more performance for intensive creative work on the go. On top of the great performance,
okay, they've introduced...
laptop gamers also want more battery life.
Wait, they're talking GPU, right? Chromium devs, our own cursor to mess with the user. Well, I wouldn't have noticed on Windows because the cursor looks a lot like the Windows cursor. It's just my default cursor is black. Like, my default cursor is, like... Yeah. Which is why I just noticed this. Are they... It enables a GPU to sense the real-time demands of the application, only the cores it needs. They know what a GPU is, right? A GPU is an embarrassingly multi-threaded, like, device. It's... I don't know. It seems like between AMD and Nvidia, CPUs and GPUs are gradually converging on the same thing. That's a thought, isn't it? I mean, have you seen, what was it? Oh, have you seen that video? I think, did Linus do it? I can't remember. But it was a video on running Crysis in software. On the 3990X, I think. But they were running the original Crysis game running just on the CPU, which is hilarious.
Enables the GPU to sense the real-time demands of the application and use only the cores it needs. This frees up power that can be used to run the active cores at higher frequencies, delivering up to 3 times more performance for intensive creative work.
Anyway,
on the
Nvidia
go.
have introduced turbo
On
boost
top
to
of
their
the great performance,
GPUs.
Laptop gamers also want more battery life. Battery Boost 2.0 has been totally re-architected. Now, AI controls the whole platform, finding the optimal balance of GPU and CPU power usage, battery discharge, image quality, and frame rates, all in real time. The result is great playability on battery, with up to 70% more battery life. Our 4th generation of Max-Q technologies with CPU optimizer, rapid core scaling, and Battery Boost 2.0 continues our commitment to bring thin, high-performance laptops to gamers and creators. Today, we are announcing the RTX 3080 Ti laptop GPU. bringing the flagship
All right.
80 Ti class of GPUs
When he
to
said
laptops
that
for the first
about
time,
creators,
featuring 16 gigabytes
I
of the
can't help but think
fastest
this is a
DDR6
massive
ever shipped in a
response
laptop.
to the Mac
The
Pro.
RTX 3080 Ti delivers higher performance
Like
than
that
the desktop
thin and
Titan
light,
RTX.
extremely high
RTX
performance.
3080 Ti laptops
Ooh,
start
that's
at
expensive.
$24.99. The RTX 70 family is our fastest growing class of laptop GPUs. Introducing the RTX 3070 Ti.
Still
It's
really
70%
expensive.
faster than the RTX 2070 Super laptops and delivers 100 frames per second.
One sec. I'm just gonna go on Apple's website. Apple. Actually, I'm gonna do this in Chromium. Apple.com. The country or region I would quite like to be in. Mac. Right, so these are $2,000. So the Mac Pro is about $500 cheaper than the previous laptop, but $500 more than this laptop.
1440p.
Just for context.
RTX 3070 Ti laptops start at $14.99. And laptops powered by both of these new GPUs will be available starting February 1st. For creators looking for the best laptop for your work, we are also announcing...
Oh, by the way, don't buy Apple because they DMCA'd me for that, for my Apple event content. So, fuck them.
New Nvidia Studio laptops. With the latest RTX GPUs, these laptops are 7 times faster than the newest MacBook Pro 16 in 3D design. With RTX hardware accelerated ray tracing, AI, Nvidia's high-performance video processor, they are the perfect tool for any creator workflow. Together with Nvidia Omniverse, studio laptops are ready to build the virtual worlds of the future. With over 100 studio laptop designs, there's a wide variety to meet every creator's needs. This includes ultra-portable 14-inch thin and light, perfect for remote workers or students like the new Razer Blade 14. Dual display laptops for video editors like the new Asus ZenBook Pro Duo. And the most powerful laptops for creators like the new MSI Creator Z17.
All right. I would never stream from a laptop. However, it'd be quite funny to have Twitch chat down there while you're playing the game. That would be an interesting use case for something like this. I get that it's meant for, you know, having the timeline or something down here, or, you know, like what they've done here. But still, there's some interesting things you could do with the extra screen. Not a fan of this though. I prefer a full-size touchpad, and I'm guessing this doubles as the numpad. Well, I use my numpad a lot. I really like my numpad. Mind you, I do a lot of spreadsheet editing, as you know, in my job. So it's kind of useful. I also use it as my hotkeys for OBS. So I like having a physical numpad that's not also attached to the trackpad. I guess if you're using this as in an artistic capacity, you would have a dedicated mouse most of the time. I guess. I would hope.
Featuring RTX 3080 Ti. Let's see what digital artist Jacob Norris
I still
can
say
create
Ti,
in
and I still
48
don't
hours
like it.
with a powerful 3080 Ti laptop.
So my name is Jacob Norris. I'm a 3D environment artist working in games and films. Gaming does inspire a lot of the artwork that I create. Games I'm playing now, games I've played in the past. I actually get a lot of the inspiration for what I want to work on while I'm traveling. Having a laptop with me with a nice big screen, a nice powerful GPU that allows me to work in all the 3D programs I need, just helps me to get my ideas out as they're coming to me. Nvidia reached out to me with the opportunity to test out this new laptop, the Razer Blade 17. I'm going to create a couple scenes with it. It's got a Nvidia Geforce Rtx 3080 Ti in this thing, so it's going to be pretty powerful.
Yes, say TI in the Nvidia event. Do it.
This is pretty sweet.
You'll love to see it.
I've got the entire scene open right now, which is a huge number of polygons. It's able to glide around the scene with no issues and try to get some of those rocks kind of blending in, and it'll look a lot better once we get it into Omniverse and we can get that texture loaded up on top of here. This is that same landscape scene, and I'm able to open it in Blender, make those changes to the landscape, bring it right back into Omniverse, and it's a seamless transition. And I'm able to just drag and drop in this dune buggy character that I got from my friend. We can start playing with some of the sunlight inside the space. And the shadows just change instantly. It's kind of fun. Alright, so I got the camera in, animations in. Let's try this out and see how it works. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
Jacob, describe your overall experience with this laptop.
I wish you had given this thing to me sooner. My life would have been way easier. We were able to easily render all this stuff, no problem, inside of Omniverse in such a short amount of time. I feel like I can go anywhere with it and still am able to produce the quality artwork that I could do at home. I kind of want to run away with this thing. This is over, right? I'm getting out of here. You guys figure it out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
To recap, GFN delivers the ultimate cloud platform for PC gamers. Today,
They
we are
used
bringing
him
more
for this
games, more
content
devices,
to
and more
advertise
networks
their
to the
shit, and they
GFN
didn't even
ecosystem.
give him the laptop.
RTX is the new standard, and the GeForce RTX 3050 makes it more accessible than ever.
Fucking Viva la
With
Revolution.
75% of gamers still gaming on GTX GPUs, this is the perfect time to step up to RTX. Laptops are the fastest growing PC platform. Today we announced 160 new laptop designs, including our latest laptop GPUs.
I'd run
the
away with the
3080
Razer
Ti
laptop,
and
but
3070 Ti,
again,
and our fourth generation.
it seems like a
Max-Q
waste for what I would
technology.
use it for.
We announced Nvidia Omniverse for 3D design collaboration is now generally available for GeForce RTX and Studio creators. This is the future of 3D content creation and how virtual worlds will be built. Over the past 20 years, we have dedicated ourselves to building the ultimate platform for gamers and creators, and today we continue that journey. But there's one more thing. The RTX 3090 Ti, a monster GPU, 40 shader teraflops, 78 RT teraflops, 320 tensor teraflops, 24 gigabytes of 21 gigabit per second G6X memory, the fastest ever. The RTX 3090 Ti.
I still hate the
our
TI
next
is pronounced
BFG
TI.
GPU.
I know.
Tune in later this month for more details. Now, let me hand it over to Ali Khani.
What exactly is the difference? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ali. I have paused on such an unflattering frame. I am so sorry. I was... Oh god. I was going to look at the 3090 and 3090 Ti pages. Nvidia, oh god. The 3090 specs. Nvidia 3090 Ti specs. What exactly is the difference between these two cards? Okay, one of them does not have an Nvidia pay. Starting at 1400. Starting at 14. All right, okay. eBuyer. RTX 3090. Oh, God. If I can actually type and not be completely cack-handed. Yeah. Yep. Starting at nearly £1,000 more than that. Just saying. I managed to buy mine for 1,700, and honestly, that's still the cheapest I've ever seen this card. Specs. Okay. And okay, 24 gigs of GDDR6X. Same. Memory burst 384-bit. 384-bit. Bandwidth 1018 gigabytes per second. Doesn't say. I imagine that's quite a bit more on the new one. So kind of funny that they are neglecting to mention the old speed. How many? 16. Okay, so that's basically what I paid for the 3090. Not that you'll ever see it for that. 10,752 shading units. So about 300 more. Which is, no, some. Tensor Core 336. You know, for a spec list, this is really lacking in fucking specs, isn't it? Whatever. It's marginally better than the 3090.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm here to talk about autonomous vehicles. It's perhaps the most intense AI challenge, but it's also one with the greatest benefits to society. It will save lives, make roads less congested, and change the way billions of people move around the world.
This is where the newer Tegra GPUs are, right? The one that's the follow-up to the one that's in the Shield is doing autonomous. I'm always going to talk about how Tesla has Nvidia GPUs, and yes, I think that's where this is going.
There are three core
so you
pillars
can
of the
say
deep
silent.
learning
Okay,
pipeline being developed
okay.
at Nvidia to create automated driving
I
solutions
mean,
that can
yeah.
be used by the transportation
Okay.
industry. First is the real-time AI-based software stack.
Wait, so
running
your
on an
Tesla
efficient,
can have
high-performance
autonomous driving in
supercomputer
it
that goes
whilst you're
inside every
autonously
vehicle.
driving. Are you
Second,
using the
there
same
are AI
GPU for that?
models
That would be
trained on the DGX servers in the cloud. And finally, a simulation platform is required. And we
Tell you
built
what.
it on Omniverse.
I'm going to take a quick break, mainly because I've ran out of drinks and I want some more drinks. So I'm going to go get some more drinks. For fuck's sake. One of the bad things about using my hotkeys for OBS is the fact they're also hotkeys for YouTube. So when I went to BRB, it just fucked off to the start of the video. I think we're about 33 minutes. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna put on some video game music. Maybe. All right, I'll see you in a couple of minutes with some more drinks. Hello again. Hey Jam, how are you doing? Let's not use the hotkey this time. This is about where we were. Ish.
There are three core pillars of the machine learning pipeline being developed at Nvidia to create automated driving solutions that can be used by the transportation industry. First is the real-time AI-based software stack running on an efficient, high-performance supercomputer that goes inside every vehicle. Second, there are AI models trained on our DGX servers in the cloud. And finally, a simulation platform is required, and we've built it on Omniverse. It's used both for synthetic data generation as well as to test and validate the AV system. This machine learning pipeline is never ending. Autonomous driving software will need to continuously develop and improve. New data will be collected and synthetically generated. Models will be retrained in the data center, then validated in
Isn't that
simulation
the
before
definition
new
of machine
software is
learning?
ultimately updated for use on the road. We've created this end-to-end
And
automotive platform and modules
words.
so that our partners can use exactly what they need to speed time to market.
There's a word I
build
just
a
can't
product
remember.
that can stay true to
When
their
you
brand. We
have
some partners that just buy our chips and core operating
those things will
system while
never work here
developing
during
their own
winter.
software applications. Other partners
I imagine a
like
lot of things won't
Mercedes-Benz
work over here
rely
during
on us
winter.
across this entire stack. From our
Example
self-driving
being
software
me.
running on Nvidia drive computers in each
But when
car
you
to
have
training
like
AI
a
models in the
data
cloud, synthetic data generation, vehicle validation,
data
testing of new
analysis that
features
creates
through
data, and then you do
simulation,
analysis
which
on
finally
that
gets
data that
pushed
produces
over the
more
air
data, and then
into
you
each Mercedes-Benz vehicle.
you know, it's
Developing an
just
autonomous
cyclical.
vehicle
There's a word
requires
for that,
an
and I can't
entirely
remember
new
what it is.
platform
Brain has
architecture
just
and
gone.
software development process. Both the hardware and software must be comprehensively tested and validated to ensure they can handle the harsh conditions of daily driving with the stringent safety and security needs of an automated vehicle. This is why Nvidia has built and made open the Drive Hyperion
Generational
platform,
learning,
which specifies a
probably.
high-performance computer and sensor
I
architecture
think it's just
that
like the
meets
basis
safety
of how machine
requirements of
learning
a fully
works.
autonomous vehicle. Today, we are in our
There's a
8th generation
specific
of Hyperion.
computer science term for it, and I can't remember.
Of automakers, truck makers, tier ones, and robotaxi companies. Hyperion 8 is designed with redundant drive-oriented computers, 12 state-of-the-art surround cameras, 9 radar, 12 ultrasonics, 1 front-facing LiDAR, and 3 interior sensing cameras. It's architected to be functionally safe, so that if one computer fails, there's a backup available to ensure that the autonomous vehicle can drive its passenger to a safe place. We have spent many years developing a data collection system with high-quality calibration and time synchronization in 4D, so our partners can
Wow, I'm glad they've
NVIDIA's AV
built an
investment
unsinkable
and
ship.
focus their resources
What if both
on
computers
their own
fail?
AI application development. We have
Unsinkable.
also defined Hyperion with our standard AGX form factor so that customers can design their autonomous
What if I
vehicle
drive into
scale
an
across
iceberg?
generations of their vehicles. With this standard form factor, an automotive OEM can go to production with a drive-oriented computer today and easily plug in a hardware and software compatible Drive Atlan computer in the future. Today, I'm pleased to announce that leading automotive tier 1 suppliers Desay, Flex, Quanta, Valeo, and ZF as Drive Hyperion 8 platform scaling partners. Together, these partners provide the automotive ecosystem with world-class tier 1 options who can manufacture production-ready
How about you let your driver, I don't know,
with the
drive?
highest levels of functional safety.
When my
and
driver
security.
crashes,
We're very proud of these
they're just
partnerships
taking
as
that
they
a
demonstrate how
whole
Hyperion
step
8
more
has quickly
literally.
become the automotive industry's most open and adopted platform architecture, and you will see it start hitting production as early as this year. The transportation industry is going through a rapid transformation. This change started with a move from internal combustion engines to electric motors. Electric vehicles are not just better for the environment. They fundamentally improve the driving experience for consumers. They drive more quietly, accelerate faster, and they will last longer. Over the course of the next several decades, we will see the majority of cars sold be electric. This transformation has given way to dozens of new energy vehicle startups. They have reimagined the car, starting with a new vehicle architecture based on programmable software-defined computers. I'm very pleased to announce that our Drive Hyperion platform has been adopted by leading new energy vehicle OEMs in the industry. Volvo established Polestar is bringing a storied heritage of safe driving into the modern era with electric vehicles that emphasize the joy of driving. The upcoming
On the
Polestar
one
2
hand,
SUV
I don't really want
features
to
a
drive a
centralized
car that is a
architecture powered by
functional
Nvidia.
QR code.
China, now the
On the other
world's
hand,
largest
if it
auto market,
confuses
has also
surveillance
been very
cameras,
successful driving the
sure, why
transition to
not?
NEVs, with nearly 20% of
Right,
all
majority of
cars
new
sold in
cars being
China
like,
this
yeah, yeah.
past quarter being electric. We're really excited to work with the vast majority of the leading NEV companies in China,
And it
including
has
NIO,
issues like I
XPeng,
can't drive an
Li
electric
Auto,
car.
R Auto,
I would have
and
nowhere to
SAIC's
charge it.
premium electric
I
vehicle
cannot
brand,
charge it where I
Lion.
live. I
These
can't
new
charge it where I
electric cars
work.
will get better
And
better over time
driving
with
to
each
a
over-the-air
place to
update. Such
fill up
companies can
is
benefit
not
from
practical
new
with
business
electric
models
cars.
that are software driven,
Because
rather than selling a car and
obviously
seeing
petrol
it
takes
degrade once
seconds.
it's driven
Electric,
out of the
not so
dealership.
much.
The tech-based automotive company manages a fleet of vehicles that will improve with new services and functions offered over the life of a vehicle. The potential of these relatively young electric automotive companies and their innovative business models is really disruptive. It has resulted in the market valuing them higher than car companies that are well established and produce millions of vehicles each year. AI is not just transforming passenger vehicles, but also opening up a major
And as we all
opportunity
know,
for disruption
market
in the
valuing is
commercial
entirely
sector.
consistent
Over the
and
last decade, and
never
accelerated by
crashes.
the pandemic, consumer shopping has dramatically shifted online, resulting in increased demand for trucking and last mile delivery.
I'm sure 2040 there were
This
still young
trend is
people
expected
driving
to
90s
continue,
cars. Oh
with
yeah.
projections starting at 170 billion packages being shipped in 2022 and increasing to 280 billion packages in 2027. Simultaneously, the trucking industry has been experiencing a significant shortage of drivers. Over the next few years, this gap is expected to widen even further, increasing to a shortage of more than 140,000 drivers in the US alone by 2027 and more than 1 million worldwide. We are now seeing a large number of autonomous driving services being built to
Trains.
enable these opportunities that
Fucking
are together
rail.
essential to our transportation future. Today, I'm pleased to announce that Too Simple will be building
Why are we
autonomous
hauling
trucking platform on
so
Nvidia
much
Drive
shit
Core. Too Simple is
via
an exciting company
lorries?
that's meeting the challenges of today's trucking and logistics industry with its scalable,
Like,
autonomous
holy
freight
crap, this
network.
is the sort of thing
Too
Rail
Simple
is
already working
brilliant
with the leading names
at.
in delivery, including UPS, Navistar, and Penske, and its technology has already improved arrival times for long-haul routes of the U.S. Postal Service. Now, I mentioned earlier that developing AV is a grand AI challenge. At the heart of AI model development, we need the ability to collect a lot of data and accurately label it to allow our AI engineers to build accurate and safe AI models. Labeling real-world data can be time-consuming, costly, and difficult. In fact, often the data we are most interested in using is also data that's the most challenging to label. Here are some examples from our own data set that are difficult to label, including scenes that are dark, blurry, or hazy. Others contain scenes that are challenging to understand, like occluded vehicles or pedestrians. We also have many scenes that are not often encountered, like construction zones. These issues are the reasons why AV
Why make this car
developers
self-driving?
need a
Just
mix
raise the
of
amount
real
of truck
data
public
and
transport.
synthetic data
Exactly.
when developing their AI models. Because of all these labeling challenges, Nvidia has built DriveSim Replicator, a synthetic data generator for autonomous vehicle development. Replicator helps our AI engineers to build up hard-to-label ground truth data by synthetically generating them from virtual cameras, LiDAR, and radar sensors within our Omniverse simulation platform. In this way, engineers can train AI
And the funny
models
thing
even
is,
before any real data has been
self-driving
collected.
trains
Replicator can label ground truth
is a
in
pretty
ways that
simple,
humans cannot,
like,
tracking moving objects across sensors,
problem.
velocity,
Like, you're on
distance,
rails.
occlusion, and
You pretty
severe
much
weather
only need
conditions.
LiDAR to see if
It's a
anything's
really
in front of
powerful
you.
tool for the AV developer.
And then you
It's
automatically
accurate,
stop at the
low
station.
cost, and it fills in gaps for data not easily found in the real world. The industry is just getting started on its path to truly self-driving technology. Most vehicles today are only able to deliver level 2 driving, commonly referred to as advanced driver assistance systems that require drivers to still be fully attentive. We are now starting to see cars classified as level 3 that allow drivers to take their eyes off the road but still remain in the driver's seat. Some companies are also developing level 4 and level 5 solutions that will be truly self-driving, allowing the driver to become a passenger and even sleep in the backseat. These include autonomous last-mile deliveries, hub-to-hub trucking,
You have a car
and
because there goes
passenger
4
robotaxis.
buses close by my house on
Complexity
a
of
day
AV
and
software
0 on a Sunday.
development
Yeah,
is
fair
ever
enough.
increasing for these different use cases. Vehicles targeted for higher levels of autonomy consume much more data.
I
as
probably
they're designed with more sensors, each with higher resolutions for better accuracy. AI networks and software
I could
architecture also
almost make
increasing
do with
complexity
the bus
as we
service. I
require
could use
true
the bus to get to
self-driving.
work.
All of these factors
It
result
does
in a
go
large increase
to
in data center infrastructure required for self-driving
where I
software
work,
development.
but I
Companies
couldn't get to the
investing in
hospital.
basic L2 systems can have data centers that need just 1 or 2,000 GPUs. And then we see some companies needing upwards of 25,000 GPUs when developing full self-driving systems. Now, our strategy at Nvidia is unique to the industry. We help our partners with computers and software in the car. We also help them with their infrastructure in the cloud. And when our partners align to our Drive Hyperion architecture, we can help them connect their platform in the car with their infrastructure in the cloud seamlessly. We believe the speed of an OEM's end-to-end autonomous driving software development flow is the most critical asset and differentiator. Software-defined vehicles will incorporate 2 key computers built with NVIDIA Drive Orin. So far today, I've talked about the computer for autonomous driving, the Drive Chauffeur, and how it is an AI-assisted driving platform that can handle both highway and urban traffic with the utmost safety. Using the high-performance compute architecture and sensor set of Drive Hyperion 8, Drive Chauffeur can drive you from address to address. But there's another equally important computer that is needed for a next-generation software-defined vehicle, and we call it Drive Concierge. With Drive Concierge, vehicle occupants have access to intelligent services that are always on, using Nvidia Omniverse Avatar for real-time conversational AI.
Welcome, Cheryl. Your calendar shows your
Hey, Zuri, it's what you were talking about.
If we leave
It's
now, we can avoid
the
traffic on 880.
I guess it answers our question about whether you're playing
Activating
Cyberpunk
autopilot.
on the same machine that's driving the car. No, there are 2.
Should I roll down the
I
windows
say
or turn on the air
2 kilometers
conditioner?
walk from the station is a limit. Longer because
Opening the sunroof for now.
Omniverse Avatar connects speech AI, computer vision, natural language understanding, recommendation engines, and simulation. The technology of Omniverse Avatar enables Drive Concierge to serve as everyone's digital assistant, helping them with recommendations to make reservations.
They're putting the
use
fucking
mobile
paperclip in
devices
our
to provide
cars.
alerts, like if a purse is left behind in the vehicle. It's personalized to each driver and passenger, giving every vehicle occupant their own personal
Clippy.
concierge.
Are there any important messages for me?
There's one from Jensen. He asks, can you meet for dinner tomorrow?
Great. Can you find me a Michelin star restaurant in Las Vegas?
The first result is Nobu, located at 3799 Las Vegas Boulevard.
Oh, fuck off.
Who is the head chef there?
Nobu's head chef is Nobu Metsuisa.
What is his signature dish?
His signature dish is black cod with miso.
When will this working
What wine
finish?
goes well with that?
Nobu's
Good
head
question.
sommelier recommends a crisp white wine like a Sauvignon Blanc with black cod miso.
Sounds like a winner. Are there reservations available for dinner tomorrow?
I'm
There's
not taking
availability for a
Jensen
party
Wang
at
to a
2 at
fucking
7:30
Michelin
p.m.
star restaurant in Vegas.
Perfect. Please book it. Can you respond to Jensen to let him know to meet us there tomorrow?
Okay, should I send it?
Yes, please.
Okay, sending.
Drive Concierge also needs to be tightly integrated with Drive Chauffeur to provide
I refuse.
high-quality
He can take his
360
fucking leather
degree
jacket somewhere else.
visualization inside the vehicle, so the driver can comfortably sit back and trust the chauffeur to safely drive. Drive Chauffeur and Concierge together can do really beautiful things. As an example, they can serve as a valet to let you out at the entrance of your destination and enable the car to search for a parking spot on its own. And then when you're ready to leave, you simply summon your concierge, who will ask your chauffeur to drive your car back to you. From AI in the car, to
Although if
AI
he's
in the cloud,
paying,
NVIDIA
I
is
changed my
paving the way
tune.
to safer and more efficient
If
transportation.
Jensen's gonna
Now,
pay
we're
for
still in the early
the
stages of
Michelin
this
star restaurant,
exciting
then
journey. I
I'm
can't
going to
wait
take
see
him
what
to the
our
most
partners
expensive
develop and
place
deliver to
ever
consumers on our Hyperion 8
available.
platform starting later this year and beyond. Thank you.
And when the fuck else am I going to eat at a Michelin-star restaurant? Well, that was the Nvidia event. That was fun. Let's close these. Right. Let's watch the AMD event. Let's see what they've actually, yeah, it's at a 3-star restaurant. It's not that expensive, but better €10 buffet. Notification on Twitch. You can now see the reasons your community submitted if they didn't renew their subscription. Well, fuck off. Do I want to see that? Anyway, let's see what. Speaking of Jensen, he was completely absent from that entire announcement. He didn't even stand there in his fake kitchen with his spatulas and the RTX 3090 Ti, pulling it from some dubious corner of his leather jacket. Anyway, AMD time.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today.
See, Lisa Sue made it.
Of 2022. As always, we love kicking off the year with CES as we roll out new products and preview some of the next generation technologies we've been working on. It's never been a more exciting time to be in the semiconductor business. We are in a high performance computing megacycle today. From digital transformation in businesses to AI and supercomputing to the devices that we rely on for school and work, computing has never been more essential to our daily lives, and we see this trend only increasing in the years ahead. Whether in PCs, the cloud, gaming, or supercomputers, AMD is all about pushing the envelope on high-performance computing. And as a result, AMD products are everywhere. We focus on deep code development with our partners to build solutions for today's most demanding experiences
Steam
and
Deck.
challenges. It all starts in the cloud, where AMD
I don't know why I
powers
said
the
it like that.
services that connect billions and helps make us all more productive from virtually anywhere and at any time. Microsoft Teams and 365, Meta, Tencent Meeting,
Can't stand
Twitter,
Teams.
Zoom, and many more use our EPYC processors. And in the enterprise, leading Fortune 500 companies are increasingly selecting EPYC to power their infrastructure. And as you all know, we just love PCs.
I've never used an AMD GPU. I couldn't comment on their drivers.
Radeon processors will raise the bar for the experiences we can expect from commercial, creator, and gaming PCs. We also love gamers because they're always looking for more performance to enable the most immersive experience possible, which is why we're so proud that our Ryzen and Radeon technologies power the best experiences from PCs to game consoles to cloud gaming. In automotive, we've also partnered with Tesla to enable the next generation of in-dash infotainment. And in phones, our partnership with Samsung will enable...
Interesting. So the implication here is that Nvidia is driving the car, but AMD is playing games in the car. That's the implication I get from mixing these two announcements together.
New mobile gaming experiences as we bring low-power RDNA 2 graphics to their next-generation flagship SoCs. Now turning to PCs. We've seen remarkably strong growth in PCs over the last 2 years, with overall shipments increasing 30% and notebook shipments growing by an amazing 49%. And as a result, we shipped a record 350 million PCs in 2021 as an industry.
Is it astonishing that you would sell 50% more laptops at a time when you literally cannot get a desktop? Is that astonishing? I would kind of expect that if you can't buy a desktop, you'd buy what you can.
Today, we're going to focus on what comes next for PCs, including new notebook APUs and GPUs, desktop GPUs, and Ryzen desktop processors. Let's get started with our new Ryzen mobile processors and next generation notebooks.
Woo, laptops.
Since launching our first Ryzen mobile processors at CES in 2018, we have consistently executed our multi-generational roadmap and delivered a new Ryzen mobile processor every year. As a result, we have built deep partnerships with all of the top PC OEMs, as they have also expanded their adoption of Ryzen mobile in each new generation.
I love the constant implication of just how dire a position AMD was in prior to Ryzen, where they had virtually no high performance, no server, no compute, very little in the way of laptops.
Series mobile processors that deliver leadership performance, battery life, and much, much more.
Hey, it's a chip.
We have so much new technology in the 6000 series. It starts with an updated Zen 3 Plus CPU core optimized specifically to deliver leadership performance per watt for notebooks.
Wait. 6000. Okay, okay. Which about FX was great. FX was certainly a thing.
And I know this is one the community has been requesting.
Except it wasn't in those areas. Opteron was dead, laptops were dead. It was literally just desktops and space heaters.
In performance compared to our prior generation, and is the same graphics IP powering the latest generation consoles, high-end gaming PCs, and Teslas.
Hey, RDNA 2. RDNA 2 then. Oh, it says it right there, look.
APUs are built using TSMC's 6nm
8320, oof. My condolences.
And to enable our partners to build the ultimate notebooks, we paired our leadership mobile processor with the latest in memory and connectivity technologies, including low-power DDR5 memory, USB 4, and Wi-Fi 6E. And the performance is just amazing.
8 cores. Yeah, weren't they sued over that at one point? Wasn't there a class action lawsuit about the
up to 5 gigahertz? We're delivering
module
what was it called?
CMT, cluster multi-threading
and with an
architecture.
Graphics built in, it's a massive leap. Double the performance. This is just an enormous generational uplift compared to our Ryzen 5000 mobile processors, which were already the best available. Now, looking at the application performance compared to our prior generation,
it was quad core.
Ryzen 6000 APU.
So it's kind of complicated because you had 4 modules and you had 2 integer cores in each. In each. And you had 1 floating point operator. I think you had 1 scheduler, which was the real bottleneck. So it kind of, if you'd only had integer calculations, it was an 8 core, but in literally any other workload, it was a quad core. So yeah, they were better off going with SMT. They like they did with Ryzen, in fact.
Deliver up to 69% faster video.
Nice.
More than double the 3D rendering performance and double the 1080p gaming performance. We've also worked closely with our customers and partners to enable unique security features. To better address the evolving security threats facing the industry, I'm very proud to announce that Ryzen 6000 series will be the first PC processors that integrate the Microsoft Pluton security processor. Our co-development work with Microsoft eliminates entire attack vectors on notebooks, better protecting critical data like system credentials, user identities, encryption keys, and personal information. The Microsoft Pluton processor, combined with our other security features, delivers the most innovative security in a PC processor. Now, the performance and security are great, but when it comes to notebooks, battery life is so important. And this is where the efficiency of our Zen 3 Plus core and 6nm process technology really shine. We've made significant design optimizations and enhancements in our Ryzen 6000 processors to deliver leadership performance per watt, including an all-new adaptive power control framework and new power management features that will enable up to 24 hours of video playback on a single charge. Put all of that together, and you simply have the world's best all-around notebook processor. To show you Ryzen 6000 in action for the very first time and tell you a bit more, here's Jason Banta, General Manager of our OEM PC business.
Thank you, Lisa. At the heart of Ryzen is Zen, AMD's award-winning core architecture driving the computing revolution. In 2021, we launched the highly successful Ryzen 5000 with the high-performance Zen 3 core. It set the performance standard for gaming, content creation, and productivity in premium notebooks. In Ryzen 6000, we introduced the Zen 3 Plus core, bringing into perfect balance high performance and incredible
So is this architecture not coming to desktop?
For Zen 3 Plus, we deliver stronger performance.
I presume it
that can
is.
really be felt by gamers, creators.
They're exclusively
and
talking about laptops.
At the same time, that performance uplift needed to come with substantial core power reduction. This enables longer battery life, reduced fan noise, and a cooler notebook in those Ryzen 6000 platforms. 50 new power management features were implemented since our Ryzen 5000 platform. We developed a brand new set of deep sleep states to take the core to an extremely low power state in between operations. And finally, we re-architected our system management firmware to be smarter. Our new adaptive power management can learn from the OS and utilizes more on-die sensors to adjust speed more quickly and accurately. AMD is the only team that can deliver a performance core and an efficient core in the same core. Now let's see what it can do.
Wow, that's a dig at
the Zen
Intel.
3 core shines in cases where performance really matters. We've upped our game in raw APU horsepower, logging substantial gains in both single-thread and multi-thread compute. Cinebench R23 single-thread has improved by 11%, and multi-thread has improved by 28%. A combination of improved frequency and enhanced clock residency delivers performance across the most demanding applications. But when we translate that to real productivity and content creation applications, the result is even stronger. PC Mark 10 Extended, which blends a suite of real-world applications, shows a 28% gain compared to our Ryzen 5000 series product. These Ryzen 6000 performance gains also come with exceptional battery life in the latest laptop designs. Today's laptops are becoming a critical part of our lives, from virtual meetings to streaming and creating. But nothing is more frustrating than a noisy fan or a low battery warning during an important Zoom call or a thrilling Netflix episode. Therefore, we put power consumption front and center in Zen 3 Plus. Over a 30% system power reduction when running Microsoft Teams, 40% when playing Netflix. These improvements mean a quieter, cooler system and the battery life to ensure your laptop lasts. Ryzen 6000
The solution
also
desktop.
brings the most advanced graphic engine available in a laptop.
Nothing is
first time,
Nothing
we are
can make
bringing the
you
incredible RDNA
as
graphics
unenthusiastic, quite
into
like
a
the
mobile
words
APU.
Microsoft
The
Teams.
Ryzen 6000 graphics engine is simply phenomenal. It offers up to 12 RDNA 2 compute units.
I've installed it on my
setting a new
desktop. I hope I never
standard
have to use
for
it.
APU graphics. It is the first mobile APU to support hardware ray tracing. Compared to Ryzen 5000 graphics, the RDNA 2 engine supports a 2x larger cache. The overall graphics engine is 50% larger than the prior generation of Ryzen Mobile. And Ryzen 6000 is optimized for Fidelity FX Super Resolution and Microsoft DirectX 12 Ultimate. The combination of Zen 3 Plus, RDNA 2, and FSR enables the dream of true 1080p AAA gaming on an ultra-thin APU-only notebook. We told you that Ryzen 6000 delivers twice the performance of Ryzen 5000. But let's look at it against other products in market. We see it as significantly faster than the integrated Xe graphics available in the Tiger
fucking
Lake
hope so,
1165 G7 notebook. But let's look at it against discrete solutions in market as well.
I guess it is. I guess it is
are sold with an entry-class discrete GPU, such as the
integrated.
Geforce MX450. That adds system price and reduces battery life in your notebook. Ryzen 6000 APU graphics also beats that MX450 discrete graphics hands down. But Ryzen 6000 graphics gets even better. Last year, we launched Fidelity FX Super Resolution. This technology unlocks faster frame rates through real-time upscaling of game content.
They're comparing it to discrete low-end Nvidia
6000 APU. For this next demo, I want to show you
chips.
Far Cry 6, a AAA title recently released from Ubisoft, and here we'll compare the Ryzen 7 6800U running with Fidelity FX Super Resolution on and off to show a dramatic difference in frame rate.
Okay, but also picture quality.
Second average of gaming performance on this exciting, visually rich title. This represents over a 50% gain, really showing.
Just a reminder, FSR is not like DLSS. It's not machine learning reconstruction. It's literally running it at lower resolution with a sharpener. It doesn't even look as good as TAA upscaling, which is
in the market today.
Yeah.
This is what only AMD can do in a notebook. By bringing together the best core, graphics, and software, we unlock a new paradigm in pure APU gaming. Far Cry 6, Call of Duty Vanguard, and Godfall, demanding AAA titles. True 60 FPS, 1080p.
Is it true 1080p if you're running it with FSR?
Possible with Ryzen 6000. Ryzen 6000 also introduces an all-new connected laptop platform. First, there's an all-new high-speed USB 4. This delivers 2x the transfer speed compared to USB 3.2. With USB 4,
I have gone so confused with USB standards. They keep renaming them.
And the USB 4 ecosystem is emerging rapidly with advanced
It's got to the point I've just stopped paying attention.
Displays leading that charge. We're excited to be an early adopter, helping to enable.
They've done the same with HDMI as well. HDMI 2.1 has been renamed HDMI 2.0, which was already a different set of features. Didn't 3.1 come out a year ago? Yes and no. Probably. There was a 3.1, but they renamed it to something else and probably released a new 3.1 in its stead. And I don't fucking know. It's confusing.
The latest DDR5 or LPDDR5 on all Ryzen 6000 platforms to ensure the RDNA 2 engine is properly fed, delivering the optimal graphics experience. And this is truly a connected platform. Our deep partnership with a number of wireless providers ensures fast, responsive Wi-Fi 6
including Intel
and Wi-Fi 6E solutions are available on Ryzen 6000 laptops. And finally, Ryzen 6000 rocks
I
an
thought most
all-new
laptops
display
had
engine,
an Intel
delivering the
Wi-Fi
richest
chip.
visuals of any notebook platform. HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort 2 are available, as well as the latest video streaming standards, such as AV1. The Ryzen 6000 capabilities at a platform level are simply incredible. However, the
AV1 would be
system
interesting if
experience
only DaVinci
is
Resolve
truly what
supported it
matters.
properly.
We've partnered with PC OEMs
Or at all.
and the team at Microsoft to ensure the most premium components are enabled and optimized in Ryzen-based laptops. From high-end storage to displays to wireless, we partner to ensure the Ryzen 6000 experience is exceptional. To introduce you to this incredible lineup of partner notebooks, let me hand it back to Lisa.
Thank you, Jason. Now let's look at how our OEM partners are bringing Ryzen 6000 to market. I'm excited to start by showing you the brand new and exclusive Lenovo Thinkpad Z. The Thinkpad Z brings the best of everything we offer with Ryzen 6000 to an all-new ThinkPad. AMD and Lenovo co-designed the Thinkpad Z to enable the ultimate collaboration laptops for business users with the most advanced security and new features, including premium OLED displays, a full HD camera, Dolby Atmos audio, and a 3D haptic touchpad. Look for these ultra-premium business notebooks.
Wow, just like a Mac.
In addition to the Thinkpad Z, we have a record number of premium commercial, consumer, and gaming notebook designs powered by Ryzen 6000 on the way this year. In fact, more than 200 premium designs are coming from Acer, Asus, Dell, HP, Lenovo, and Razer. We can't wait for these systems to launch. They're truly some of the best notebooks ever. And to power all those different notebooks, we have 20 different Ryzen 6000 mobile processors optimized for ultra-thin, commercial, and gaming designs. And you should see the first Ryzen 6000 notebooks starting in February. Okay,
I really
now let's
don't
shift
care
our
about
focus to
laptops.
high-performance GPUs. For that, I'd like to introduce AMD Fellow and Corporate Vice President, Laura Smith.
Thank you, Lisa. 2021 was a great year for Radeon. Our goal is gaming leadership across the ecosystem, and the journey continues to be exciting. We architected RDNA 2 graphics for performance scaling, performance per watt leadership, and for broad technology adoption. RDNA 2 is the backbone of the RX 6000 series graphics lineup. We first introduced the incredible 4K performance of the RX 6900 XT
Nice.
through to the RX 6600 series.
You'd think they would change the
1080p
captions
gaming
to
with
actually get their
features for
brand
PC gamers.
names correct. Kind of
Gaming
embarrassing.
is an immersive experience, and a great gaming graphics card needs a great display and software to deliver the complete experience. We continue to work with display partners, and the AMD FreeSync ecosystem has grown beyond 2,000 displays. In addition, we're certifying even more premium displays, featuring 8K resolutions and displays with refresh rates up to 480 Hz. And we're
That's
actively
a
working
lot of
with
hertz.
partners like Samsung Display to certify AMD FreeSync Premium Pro on QD OLED displays. For the benefit of nearly all game developers, graphics hardware, and gamers,
What about
we
going to
launched
Linux? So I hope they
open
know
source
RX
upscaling
6000.
technology.
Well, RX 5000 was
FX
pretty good,
Super
actually, if you
Resolution,
could get
which
your
gives
hands on them, which is
unprecedented
the issue.
performance improvements to compatible games.
They, for the first
At the end
time
of in
in a, well,
2021,
since
we
the
had over
290X,
45
they've been in
games
parity
supporting
with
FSR,
Intel.
and another 22 are expected in the first half of this year. FSR is one of the most rapidly adopted technologies in the industry. 2021
Actually,
was
RX
also
6000, that
the
is the
year
current
Radeon
gen.
returned to
What am I
gaming
thinking?
laptops. Leveraging the highly efficient and high-performance RDNA 2 architecture, we saw product releases from top OEMs featuring the Radeon RX 6000M series graphics. Now, let's jump into 2022 and the new technology.
I was actually looking to get a 6900 XT, but couldn't get one.
Incredible growth in gaming laptops. and ultra-thin gaming
I couldn't get anything. The
laptops are now
only, I literally
fastest-growing
have the
segment
3090
at a
because it's the
rate
only thing that
that's
was
8 times
available.
faster than traditional gaming laptops. Today, we are
And they needed
introducing
something.
the AMD Radeon RX 6000S. This series is specifically built for thin and light gaming laptops. These GPUs are optimized for power efficiency and enhanced with new performance per watt technologies, pushing high performance in the most compact devices. 20% thinner, weighing less than 4.5
My
pounds.
1070 is pushed like an old workhouse.
As
Yeah.
I mentioned, last
To
year,
be
we
fair,
introduced the Radeon.
that was a good GPU, and it's pretty old now. And yeah, still going. Pascal still going strong. Pascal was a good generation. Fucking expensive. I think Pascal was the first generation that started taking the piss in terms of how expensive everything was, especially after how good Maxwell was. Especially the GTX 970. That was such a good value card. Like just remind you, £275 that was for the GTX 970. That is about what the 3050 is gonna be. Which is crazy to me. Anyway, I'm gonna take 5K. Okay, yep, that's a lot for a 1070. I agree with you there. I'm gonna take a quick pee break. I'm also gonna get another drink because I finished my lilt. So see you in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna resist the urge to use a hotkey because it will skip around the video. So I'm gonna play some music and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Hello again. How are we doing? Welcome back. Let's change scene. Let's re-maximize. And let's listen to more of this stuff about laptops that we're not especially interested in. Yay!
Radeon RX 6000M series lineup for traditional gaming laptops. This year, we're growing the offerings. We are introducing faster performance graphics solutions with faster memory and higher game clocks. And we are also expanding the reach of the models in this series with a new discrete GPU. This new GPU is built on 6nm technology designed for low-power gaming. Today, we are announcing a whole
I
lot
assume
of
this is
new
TSMC's
AMD
6nm.
Radeon GPUs to
They've not
bring you
actually
best
said who's 6nm
experience
at all
in
yet.
every
Just
gaming
6nm, 6nm, which
For
is
the
one
Slim
less than
line,
7.
We have 3 models, averaging over 80 to 100 frames per
It might
second
not be
in
it.
the latest AAA and eSport gaming titles. For the M series, we're introducing the new RX 6850M XT, our fastest GPU for extreme gaming laptops.
This reminds me so much as Max Q and Max P from Nvidia. I mean, I know these are they that different chips? With Nvidia, it's just the power target's different, the clock speed is different. But for these, the way they're marketing them as entirely different chips is better, in my opinion. Zero Crisis Remake, probably. It is better, in my opinion, because I find the fact that a 3080 Max Q performing worse than a 3070 Max P confusing. However, if they end up doing the same thing, so the 6800S is worse than the 6700M, would that be much better? I mean, the lesser difference would help, I guess, but 3090 struggled with it, if I remember the line of the video right. I mean, did it, or did they just run it at ultra settings? Because that's not the same thing. The people said the same thing about Original Crisis. Original Crisis actually scaled very well. You could run Original Crisis on not that impressive a system. It's just it scaled way up. Ultra 8K, well, no fucking shit then. The 3090 cannot game at 8K. Like, the only way you can get 8K out of the 3090 is with DLSS, where you're actually running it at 4K or less. So, yeah, don't expect anything to run well at 8K. Maybe fucking KOTOR or something. But yeah. Nvidia's marketing by that was fucking atrocious when they called the 3090 the world's first 8K gaming CPU. KOTOR remake hype. I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. It so desperately needs a remake. The UI is bad. And you can't even mod it to run it at 4K. Like, the mods go up to 1440p. So if you run it at 4K, you get your UI here, 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 and here. And that's your lot. So I mean, I've played that. I've streamed that. It's still very good, obviously. I've dropped it because of the combat, really. I still enjoy the gameplay. It's just the UI. Another one that needs a remake dramatically is Dragon Age Origins. That does not scale well. In fact, you need to mod that so that it doesn't crash, because it isn't high address aware, which means if it will use more than 2 gigs of RAM and it will crash. The abilities bar at the bottom only goes about this far on a 4K display. I played it for later. Well, it supports HD with mods. It just doesn't support anything above 1440p with mods. Which is a shame. But I was actually kind of irritated that Mass Effect got the remake, or the remaster, sorry, before Dragon Age, because Mass Effect didn't need one. In fact, the remaster for Mass Effect was pretty shit, to be honest. It didn't do anything that you couldn't get from the Nexus. In fact, it was less good than most of the mods you get from the Nexus. If you got on the top rated mods for Mass Effect, you'd end up with a better looking and better playing experience than the remaster they expected $60 for. Like, it was a flagrant rip-off. Dragon Age, however, needs a remaster. It desperately needs a remaster because it does not get along with Mass Effect is a bigger series by fan base. I know. I get that, but that kind of doesn't make it more ethical, in my opinion. The only thing they did better than Rockstar was they didn't take the original games off of Steam. Mainly because, were they even on Steam? They were on Origin. But yeah. I mean, the remasters weren't as bad as the GTA trilogy. Like, those were fucking atrocious. But they weren't good either. Oh well. Luckily, we can still play the originals, which is good.
Tops. And new 6650 models delivering up to 20% more performance over the original 6600M. And a brand new GPU for gamers available in 2 models. The Amd Radeon Rx 6300M and the 6500M. For our desktop gamers, today we are introducing a new 6nm GPU that brings RDNA 2 graphics to even more gamers. The Amd Radeon RX 6500 XT. This graphics card has the fastest sustained GPU clock rates ever at over 2.6 gigahertz, includes 16 hardware ray accelerators, 16 megabytes of Infinity cache, and supports the full suite of Adrenaline software features.
Right, how much is it?
Let's take a look at the performance of the RX 6500 XT. Almost half of desktop gamers are playing on a GTX 1650, RX 570 class, or...
Ooh. Wow. All right, that's a card that was a rebrand from a card from 2016, I want to say. So Polaris. Yeah, Polaris is 2016, and that was a rebrand of it. And that was shit. Let's be real, that card was... Turing was not good at all, but that was especially bad. All right, where are we going? So, I mean, it's actually, look at their data. Look at their data here. This is a Turing card from 2017. This is a rebrand of a 2016 Polaris card. This was upper mid-range when it was released. Look how much better the Polaris is, according to their testing, than the Turing. Like, it was okay. It was just very, very, very low end. Like, and it was... like, compared to, like, the 1050, it was expensive for what it was. And, okay, we're 23% better than a mid-range card from... I think if they would compare it to 1070, it's probably about the same. Let's be real. Looking at these numbers, it's probably 1060, 1070 territory. This was a little bit worse than the 1060 because the 580 than the 480 were the competitor to the 1060. So yeah, it's probably about that territory. which means they've released a low-end card that is, you know, competitive with Pascal in 2022.
Or lower GPU. Games play best with the newest technology, and the RX 6500 XT graphics card is a substantial upgrade, showing an uplift of up to 59% faster frame rates than your previous graphics card.
So remember the 1660 was about the same as a 1070. Well, I know the 2060 was about the same as a 1080. And it fucking cost the same as well, which is the problem. It wasn't really the performance of Turing that was the issue. It was the fact that it was literally double the price at every price point compared to Maxwell.
Card in AAA and esports gaming.
And that for the same performance as Pascal, it was the same price as Pascal. So the 2080 performed like a 1080 Ti, cost the same. 2060 performed the same as a 1080, cost the same as a 1080. Like, you didn't, for that whole 2-year period, price to performance stagnated. You didn't get anything more for the same money.
And the Radeon RX 6500 XT is optimized with our full suite of gaming technologies to supercharge the gaming experience, pushing frame rates at high settings well above 60 frames per second with Fidelity FX Super Resolution.
Well, yes, you run a game at low res, it runs
Gamers
better.
can get up to 46% higher frame rates. Let's talk about pricing and availability. The Radeon RX 6500.
Ooh, ouch. Ooh. That's, can you move your legs out of the way?
January 19th, starting.
That's, eesh. So we've got a card in 2022 that performs a bit like an RX 580 and performs the same as an RX 580 and is released 6 years later. $200 was the launch price of the RX 480, which was a mid-range. It's a mid-range card. And this is their bottom end card for the same price. That's an oof from me. It'd be a good upgrade to me. Honestly, see if you can get a used 580 from eBay or something like that. Actually, no. If you just said you're on a 1070. Did you? I'm sure you said you're on a 1070, which means this will perform about the same. This would not be an upgrade for you. It would be a side grade.
At $199.
Ouch.
As exciting as
it's so expensive for a bottom end card.
Our engineers are
this is, mind you, this is the same as the 3050 argument we just had. That was $250 for a fucking home theater PC encoding machine. Because I live in Finland, it would cost me 300 plus tax. Yeah. Oof. They've just completely killed low-end gaming. AMD and Nvidia between them, since Turing, have just completely killed the entire concept of budget gaming. If you don't want to spend £2,000 on a machine, get a fucking console. Because that's your bottom end. That is your entry tier. That is your, you know, Xbox Series S competitor. Your entry to the worst gaming experience you can buy is about £2,000. You know, we're actually at the point that I generally cannot recommend PC gaming to anyone. Like, if this is your bottom end, you know, bargain bin sort of shit tier card for $200, and anything worth buying is, you know, 500 at least. I cannot recommend anyone get a PC who wasn't also using it for work or something. Back in 2016, I got an i5 600K, 1070 and more for 600. Yeah. Yeah. And a 1070 was an upper mid-range card. It was, you know... And I think the worst thing is, you can have a go at scalping and mining and all that shit. This is MSRP. This is recommended retail price. This is not taking any of that into account. Like, you can't blame AMD. Well, again, to an extent, you can't blame AMD for availability and scalping, because there is a global chip shortage. There's, you know, there's not much anyone can really do about that. But they can set the base price at MSRP. And Nvidia as well. Turing was in a large place responsible for that. And just as a reminder, that was way before the chip shortage. No one forced Nvidia to charge what they did for Turing, the 2000 series. But AMD certainly didn't have to match them. But kind of depressing, isn't it? Like, even without scalping, even without the chip shortage, there just wouldn't be low-end gaming anymore. Why would you buy this? Like, if you're... This is 1080p, yeah? Remember, this is low-end 1080p. Why would you not just get an Xbox? Or a PS4, 5. Or a PS4 even. Like, why would you... This isn't going to get you a better experience than the consoles. Not anymore. Not now the consoles support 60 FPS. Not now the consoles... The Xbox Series S, like the shit one, is gaming at 1440p, which is more than this will do. Like, why would anyone buy this? This is a very good £150 card. Possibly less. Not 200. Hope Intel comes in with a lower price, but I know it's hopeful thinking. We know absolutely nothing about XZ, however they say it. We know, yeah. And to be honest, I don't even know where to start guessing about the Arc. I think Arc architecture, whatever they're calling it. But I don't even know what they're calling it. That's the real issue. Well, it's one of the many issues with what Intel are doing. I know they've got XeSS, that's their equivalent to DLSS, which, by the way, is a fuck ton better looking than FSR seems to be. It actually is a deep learning. Deep learning, that's the phrase I was looking for earlier. Hell. Deep learning super sampling. But, yeah. Oh, well.
Delivering an even broader graphics portfolio for 2022. From 8 models introduced last year, we are delivering on our promise to offer a full portfolio of graphic solutions. With a completely new Slim Series lineup for thin and light
It's
gaming,
certainly a Slim series.
even faster premium mobile graphic solutions, and new discrete graphics accessible for even more gamers. Today, all
And
together,
keep using this
we
word.
are
I don't think you
increasing
know
the
what it
number
means.
of Radeon RX 6000 models to over 18. With the over 300 solutions from system integrators, graphics card partners, and OEM designs, 2022 is going to be a great year for all gamers and do-it-yourselfers. I'm excited to introduce Frank Azor to tell you more about Radeon software and new AMD gaming solutions.
Yes, I just want to remind everyone that this guy, let me fuck up the drivers again, probably. I just want to remind everyone that this guy, Frank Azor, when the 3000 series Nvidia launched and basically immediately sold out and no one could get their hands on them, and because of the global chip shortage, he took to Twitter to gloat about that and personally guaranteed that AMD graphics cards would not have the same issue and you would absolutely be able to get your hands on them. And he was saying this for a couple of weeks. Well, actually, AMD was about a month behind the 3000 series with their own release of RDNA 2. And so he was saying stuff like that. And then they launched and apparently had like single figure units sent to EU countries because they basically sent their entire stock, which was again not very many at all, to the US and then sent very few elsewhere. So he personally bet and guaranteed that everyone would be able to get their hands on one. No one could. He couldn't even get his hands on a 6800. If I remember rightly, he ended up with a 6700, which is hilarious. But so yeah, Chief Architect, Gaming Solutions and Marketing. Ooh, that's a. If I was his boss, I'd keep him the fuck away from Twitter. Because holy shit, that was a cock up. He knew the state of production, but he still hyped up their ability to get units out there. Which again, that by itself, I don't blame AMD for. You can't do shit in the face of a global chip shortage. You just can't. There's nothing they could have done. TSMC can't magic up new fabs. However, you can decide not to go to Twitter and hype up how good your stock situation is going to be when you know full well that you will not be able to meet demand. That's a choice you can make.
Auto overclocking. And we made several updates to popular features like Radeon Chill, Anti-Lag, and AMD Link, just to name a few. We've also introduced performance optimizations, resulting in up to 15% faster frame rates from your Radeon graphics cards, while also delivering tuned drivers for over 40 new game releases on the day they launched. Soon,
wow. AMD actually has game-ready drivers now? Speaking of, another rant time. I cannot stand the phrase AMD fine wine. I hate that. I hate that phrase so much. Because what that tells me is that their drivers took a year to actually get good. When I play a video game on Windows, mind. On Windows, you buy a video game, you play the video game, and you get a driver update the day that video game is released, and that you get the driver optimizations for that game, and it runs well, in theory. And you get that for most games. Like most games on Windows, you have a game ready driver to optimize for it. And you look at, you know, say, you know, back in the day, look at the R9 290X and the 780 Ti. On paper, very similar graphics cards. And you look at them now, they perform about the same, as you would expect. Two very similar graphics cards with very mature drivers for both. You run a game from, you know, 2013, when those cards were new-ish. And they're both great. Well, they're as great as each other. They're obviously not great compared to a new card, but for that purpose, for a 2013 game, yeah, they're wonderful. You played them at the time, the 780 Ti was streets ahead. Like, the 780 Ti was such a mind-blowingly fast card compared to what AMD had. Even though we've just said that those two cards should perform about the same. And it's because Nvidia nailed its driver situation. Like, JM, you keep ranting about the drivers. You're kind of not wrong. And AMD would fix them over time. Like, if you played a game a year after it was released, AMD's driver would often outperform Nvidia's. Like, it would perform better. But the frustrating thing is it took them about a year to do that. So while Nvidia users were getting the best day one experience, like, and it frustrates me because people use this phrase fine wine as a, oh, it gets better over time. Oh, they support it for a long time. Which isn't technically wrong. But at the same time, what it means is that their day one support was shit. And it took that long for you to get a good experience. Which is not how it should be. And I get why. AMD was a company that was, you know, trading at $2 a share at one point and was seriously looking to be bought by Samsung or whoever at one point because they were in such dire straits before Ryzen. And one of the big benefits of moving to low-level APIs was that the driver overhead was so diminished. When was the last time a AAA game worked right away? But not because of the drivers, though, JM. Usually the drivers are relatively fine. Just the developers, you know, their support and their need for day one patches notwithstanding. But in terms of the graphics card drivers, yeah, AMD was lacking compared to Nvidia. And that's something they really needed to fix. And the fact that Frank Azura, a man, not gonna lie, I really don't trust him because of his track record of hyping stuff up, knowing full well that he's lying. But the fact that he's now standing up here talking about, we've got this many day one drivers for AAA games. Why is this just now becoming a thing? Are you just saying this to counter the perception that I've just outlined about AMD's sorry state of day one drivers? Is that where this is coming from? I'm guessing most of these games are DirectX 12 or Vulkan, mainly DirectX 12, I'd imagine. So, what? Just day one drivers matter as much as they used to? Probably not as much as they do with DirectX 11, but possibly to an extent. I don't know.
You'll see in it. As you know by now, Fidelity FX Super Resolution has been a huge success, with support from major studios and new titles are being added weekly. But we challenged ourselves to figure out a way to give you the benefits of FSR for all your games. Well, we've done just that.
We've added a resolution
Excited to
slider.
announce that we've taken our FSR technology and we've integrated it into the next version of the Adrenalin software suite. This new feature, it's called Radeon Super Resolution, and it allows you to get the performance benefits of FSR across nearly every game you own. Radeon Super Resolution can be enabled in 2 easy steps. Simply turn it on in your Adrenalin software, lower the resolution in your game settings, and RSR will take care of the rest, nearly doubling
Yeah, because
your
it's
frame
just a
rate.
sharpening filter.
RSR is just one of the awesome new features we have
It's
planned for you. In the
nothing
next release.
sophisticated.
Here's a sneak
It's a
peek of what
very
more you
blunt
can expect
instrument.
from the upcoming Adrenalin software release.
It's not DLSS, it's not XESS, it's just a low resolution with a sharpening filter. It's not even a temporal reconstruction. It's not checkerboarding. All of these things are way better than what FSR does. Was that system support widescreen? Yeah.
Radeon graphics users will be able to download the new AMD Adrenalin software starting in Q1 2022. Next, let's talk about AMD Advantage, which we introduced you to last year. With AMD Advantage, we're working to raise the bar of what defines a great gaming laptop experience. We've partnered with OEMs to design best-in-class gaming laptops by providing them with the design framework that ensures
Yay,
the
laptops again. We love it.
delivered by our Ryzen CPUs and our Radeon GPUs is felt through all aspects of the laptop's experience. There are 3 key things to know about AMD Advantage laptops. First, we've amplified their gaming performance by optimizing AMD's CPUs and AMD's GPUs with our smart technologies. Second, they come equipped with high refresh rate.
Oh, is this a bit where they claim to have invented resizable BAR again?
Focus on each model's cooling, acoustics, sleep and resume times, battery life performance, and hundreds of other design decisions, making them truly built to game. When you buy an AMD Advantage laptop, you can be certain it's been designed from the ground up to deliver a great gaming and computing experience. Our first AMD Advantage partners launched 7 different designs with us, featuring all AMD hardware and our AMD Smart Technologies, Smart Shift, and Smart Access Memory. As press and analysts have noticed, the AMD Advantage design framework takes the guesswork out of buying a premium gaming system.
Smart Access Memory is resizable BAR. It's a feature of PCIe, not anything special to AMD.
I'm excited to introduce you to our 2022 AMD Advantage design framework. This year, AMD Advantage devices will include the new processors and graphics and software you've been introduced to here today, along with several new AMD Smart Technologies. They'll also include new FreeSync premium displays ranging from 144 Hz to 360 Hz at full HD resolution, and new designs leveraging Quad HD and even 4K screens starting at 120 Hz. And of course, all these laptops are built to game, with a minimum of PCI 4 NVMe drives, at least 16 gigabytes of dual-channel DDR5 memory, and now a portfolio of thin and light designs. To complement our new AMD Ryzen 6000 series CPUs and Radeon GPUs, we've developed a new set of AMD Smart Technologies to amplify your performance even further in these systems. First, we're making enhancements to our Smart Shift technology. New optimizations for 2022 improve how your laptop shifts power between the CPU and the GPU. Smart Shift Max will deliver increased performance and works better across a broader set of games and workloads than original.
Is this not exactly what Nvidia just announced?
For example, in the game Tom Clancy's The Division 2, where the original Smart Shift exhibited no benefits, Smart Shift
I'm sure Nvidia talked about this earlier. Except theirs worked for AMD and Intel CPUs, not just AMD's.
Smart Shift Max is able to double the uplift as compared to the original. Next, let me introduce you to a new feature we call Smart Shift Eco. When you unplug your laptop, this new configurable option automatically runs games on your Ryzen CPU's integrated Radeon graphics, allowing you to game longer than ever when on battery. While plugged in, games will run on the full performance of the laptop's Radeon RX discrete GPU, delivering maximum frame rates.
Wow.
This new automation can mean the
So you
difference between
unplug
hundreds
your
of
laptop and
minutes
suddenly you get
versus
10
hours
frames per
without battery.
second.
Smart Shift Eco will be available in AMD Advantage laptops later this year. Most gaming and creator laptops today use a hybrid graphics implementation to offer improved battery life. However, there's a performance compromise that comes with these efficiency benefits, as a discrete GPU must be configured to display its graphics through the CPU, introducing latency and therefore lowering frame rates. To solve this, we developed AMD Smart Access Graphics. Smart Access Graphics intelligently switches the display between your Ryzen and Radeon processors to optimize battery life or to enable maximum graphics performance for an additional 15% higher frame rates over traditional hybrid solutions. Now, let's take a look at some of the next generation AMD Advantage laptops featuring these new technologies. We're excited to reveal the newest partner to join the AMD Advantage lineup. Our collaboration with Alienware has led to the
Oh,
development
Alienware,
of the
that'll be
most
affordable.
powerful 17-inch AMD Advantage laptop ever built. The Alienware M17R5 features a Ryzen 6980HX CPU, a Radeon RX 6850M XT GPU, and our latest smart technologies. It's also the first laptop to include
Wait, these
AMD
numbers are not
Smart
as
Access
bad as
graphics.
Intel's naming schemes,
The
but
system
holy
comes
fuck, they're
paired
not good.
with up to a gorgeous 120 hertz 4K ultra high definition FreeSync premium display with Dolby Vision certification, and Alienware's Cryotech cooling featuring a vapor chamber design and Element 31 thermal interface material. It also comes with an ultra low profile Cherry MX mechanical keyboard. The Alienware
Okay.
M17R5 AMD Advantage Edition raises the bar for enthusiast gaming laptops. 2 years ago, I was on the CES stage proudly introducing the first Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 gaming laptop, and it's been a huge hit in the industry, redefining what is possible in a highly mobile and performant gaming laptop. Today, I'm excited to announce that the next generation of the Zephyrus G14 will feature Ryzen 9 6000 series processors and now include Radeon thin and light mobile
I
graphics,
was looking at a Dell
offering GPUs
XPS
up to a Radeon RX
laptop a while ago.
6800S, along with
They are very
AMD Smart
nice.
Shift and Smart
Fucking
Access
expensive though.
technologies. This laptop will feature a 14-inch high refresh rate FreeSync Premium certified
I'd
display
probably
as
sooner
bright as
get a MacBook
500
Air
nits.
than a Dell
With
XPS
ROG
just because it's
intelligent
cheaper.
cooling and an enhanced anime matrix display option, along with an IR camera, this thin and light laptop weighs less than 3.5 pounds. The industry's first 14-inch AMD Advantage gaming laptop will be available in select regions in Q1.
Select regions, that means the United States.
AMD Advantage laptops make choosing a great gaming laptop easy. And as a result, we've received requests from partners around the world to offer their very own branded models. This year, multiple system builder partners such as Origin, ESI, TechJoy, and many others will release a wide array built around the AMD Advantage design framework. Paired with our new Ryzen 6000 series CPUs and up to Radeon RX 6650M XT graphics, and supporting the latest AMD Smart Technologies, these systems will feature up to a 16-inch Quad HD FreeSync premium display with refresh rates as high as 165 Hz, and they'll be as thin as 19.9 millimeters. Expect to see these laptops launching in the first half of 2022. With AMD Advantage, we're bringing the best gaming laptops to market to keep up with you while you work, create, and play. And the response from gamers has been incredible. I'm excited to announce that in 2022, we'll be launching more than 20 AMD Advantage laptops with our partners. Thank you so much for your time today. Let me hand it back over to Lisa. Happy New Year, and I hope you have a great 2022.
Thanks, Frank and Laura. I can't wait for gamers to get their hands on those new GPUs and Advantage laptops. Now let's close with the desktop PC. Our multi-generational
Yay, the thing we're
dedicated
actually
roadmap
interested in.
has enabled AMD to deliver leadership desktop processors since we first brought Zen to market as the Ryzen CPU in 2017. Today, tens of millions of enthusiasts, gamers, and creators around the world use Ryzen processors. But we know they always want more performance, and the latest technology. So let's talk about what's next. At Computex last year, we showed you a demo of a Ryzen prototype with 3D V-Cache. We're leading the industry in 3D chiplet technology. Our approach provides over 200 times the interconnect density of 2D chiplets and more than 15 times the density compared to existing 3D stacking solutions. This enables a much more efficient and denser integration using less than 1/3 the energy per signal of competitive approaches. Today, I'm excited to announce that we are bringing 3D chiplet technology to market in our Ryzen CPUs. The Ryzen 7 5800X3D is our first...
What is this name? What is this name? The Ryzen 7 5800X3D. Is this a generational increase on the 5800 or not? If so, why not do a full range of them? What about the Ryzen 9 5900, 5950X? What? At what point do we just call it the 6000 series? What is this name? Oh god, this is... I take it back. This is worse naming than what Intel does.
First Ryzen processor with 3D V-cache technology. It features 8 cores, 16 threads, up to 4.5 gigahertz boost, and a large 64 megabytes of 3D cache.
Wait. 4.5 gigahertz boost? One second. R7 5800X specs. Really? Okay. Way down here. I was expecting AMD's own website to be a bit higher. 4.7. I, for some reason, thought this was going to boost up to about 5 gigahertz, which is what the 5950X. It's still lower. It's still what's the base? 3.4. So same. No, actually, I was looking at the wrong one. It's 3.8. So this is lower clocks than the currently existing 5800X, which is interesting.
To 4.5 gigahertz boost and a large 64 megabytes of 3D cache.
I mean, that's probably going to have a bigger impact than the clock speed difference, but still.
The 5800X3D drops right into existing AM4 motherboards and delivers a significant boost in gaming performance. Looking at the performance in 1080p gaming, we see a significant increase in performance in many games with the 96 megabytes of L3 cache. Across the entire suite, it delivers an average of 15% more frames per second than our previous fastest gaming processor, the Ryzen 9 5900X. And when compared to the competition's best gaming processor, we're proud to say the combination of the Zen 3 core and AMD 3D V-cache once again makes Ryzen the fastest gaming CPU in the world. Customers often say they just want a game and want the fastest processor for the job, and the 5800X3D delivers. And I'm happy to say that Ryzen 7 5800X3D will be available starting this spring. Now, I want to give you one
They
more
need to get better at their naming. Holy shit.
Since 2017, we've introduced 123 processors across 12 different product families in 4 different technologies to the AM4 platform. That is just a remarkable amount of innovation. But as always, we continue to push the envelope, and I'd like to give you a preview of our next-gen CPU and platform. Zen 4 is the next big step. Built on 5-nanometer process technology, Zen 4 will extend our performance and performance per watt leadership in desktop PCs. For the very first time, let me show you our next-generation Ryzen processor. This is the all-new 5-nanometer AMD Ryzen 7000 desktop processor. It's currently running in our labs, and the performance looks incredible. And just as we did with Ryzen 6000 mobile,
It's a weird-looking heat spreader.
Ryzen desktop processors will be paired with next-generation memory and connectivity technologies to deliver the ultimate experience. In addition to...
A sec. So when you put this on your motherboard and you put thermal paste on it, and then you take your cooler off and you clean the heat spreader of all the thermal paste that's all over it, do you clean the SMDs that are going to be slathered in paste? I probably wouldn't try, but still, they're going to be covered in thermal paste.
Connectivity technologies to deliver the ultimate experience.
I hope it's not conductive.
In addition to the new Ryzen 7000 CPUs, we're introducing an all-new AM5 platform.
Hey, LGA, nice.
AM5 features an LGA socket and includes a support for PCI Express Gen 5, DDR5 memory, and much, much more. Now let's see Ryzen 7000 and Zen 4 in action for the first time. What you're seeing is
Zen 4
gameplay footage of Halo Infinite.
Sorry, I was getting distracted by the subtitles that had Zen 4. Like, what's a hammer for? Hitting nails?
Running on a pre-production 5nm Ryzen processor. To give you an idea of why we're so excited about Zen 4, you can see beautiful gameplay at very high frame rates. And I can tell you that all
Well,
of
we
those Zen
can't.
4
This is
cores are
YouTube.
running at 5
And you
gigahertz.
certainly can't on Twitch.
This is the next generation of gaming and PC experiences from AMD. And I'm happy to say that we're on track to bring Ryzen 7000 and AM5 to the market in the second half of this year. Now to wrap up,
Ryzen 7000. Not Ryzen 6000. What the fuck is going on here? So Ryzen 6000, February 2022. So presumably this is laptop only? Because you got Ryzen 5000 released again in spring after Ryzen 6000. And then we've got Ryzen 7000 release a couple of months. Second half, so a couple of months after Ryzen 6000, which is released before another Ryzen 5000. What the fuck are they doing? They already skipped Ryzen 4000. And they skipped Ryzen 4000 purely because they made such a mess of their naming between different architectures being given the same name in the same generation, that they, with particularly across mobile, where mobile was and they're not just mobile, but their APUs were a generation behind what the naming convention was. So for example, a Zen Plus APU, which is their second generation, was named 3000, and it was launched alongside all the Zen 2 CPUs. So they skipped 4000 to clear up that mess, and now they seem to have made another mess that made them have to skip the 6000 series as well. Are we just doing odd numbers? We've gone 3000, 5000, 7000. We're going to do 9000 next. Their naming is all over the place. Holy fuck. It's like they looked at Intel with their 10980XE and their 12900K and their fucking like 10900K with their 10900X and their confusing barrage of many numbers they're all throwing together, and they said, you know what, they've got it confusing, let's do it better. And by better I mean much worse. We've got 3 generations of products launched on a screen here within a few months of each other. And presumably these are 3D chips as well, right? Why would you go for the 3D cache stacking on top of the die for this product and not do it for this. So this strikes me as the proof of concept, like the prototype that would become this generation. In which case, why release it a few months? Like the 5800X 3D is released a few months before the 8-core 7800X. Just why? If there was a year difference, I would get it. 5800X 3D mid-range CPU. Kind of, yeah. Kind of. It's the 8-core. So you've got the 12-core and the 16-core above it. I mean, it's kind of also in a weird place because it's one of those things where for gaming, anything over 6 cores is kind of pointless. It doesn't really add much. And for production purposes, basically, if you want, if there's something you really want more than 6 cores for, then you kind of want more than Ace as well. So 8 cores are in this really kind of weird place at the moment where, did she say 7000 is coming out on AM4? No, it's AM5. 7000 is LGA, so land grid array. So basically, the pins are on the motherboard now rather than on the back of the CPU. So the CPU's got pads on the back rather than pins. So it physically won't go in a AM4 motherboard. But this is the most confusing thing about this. I'd understand it if this was a year before this, but it just a few months. Why? Unless you desperately need a CPU right now. So maybe that's why it's still too close. Yeah, so this will slot in an AM4 motherboard. What a weird swan song for AM4 socket. Still can't believe this. 3 generations of CPU announced on this one singular page, on this single frame that we've paused on for far too long. This is crazy. And why not just call it the 6000? Why? How different is this 6000 here from the 5000? Really? Is it just a 5000 series on a 6 nanometer process? In which case, why not release this for desktop? Unless you are releasing it for desktop. In which case, why is this not part of the 6000 series? None of this makes any sense. I'm going to resume for the last minute.
Bob, it's been fantastic sharing so much innovation with you today. We're bringing leadership products to every segment of the PC market. We'll start with Radeon 6500 XT, available January 19th. The first notebooks powered by our Ryzen 6000 CPUs and Radeon 6000 GPUs will arrive in February. And Ryzen 7 5800X 3D will launch in the spring. And we are super excited to launch our next generation Ryzen 7000 desktop CPUs in the second half of 2022. I want to thank all of you who have joined us today on the product premiere live stream. We look forward to a great 2022 and seeing you again soon.
XCD for industrial usage more? No, because they would be using the 12 and 16 core CPUs. They specifically highlighted gaming performance and compared it to the 12. Well, they did compare it to the 12 900K, but they also compared it to the 12 core 5900X. Anyway, I'm also getting tired. I was going to play some Mario 64, hence this charming background that I've got here, and the constant reminders from Nightbot about does the dog die, but I'm instead going to call this a night here. I think let's use a round. Let's see who we can raid. I'd appreciate if you stuck around. It would help me out. It will help them out. It will just be good all around. So let's see. I've got a feeling I know where we're going. Shall we go and watch some Witcher 3 with Chaotic Neutral Goblin? Let's launch our Chaotic. Am I spelling chaotic wrong? No, I'm not. It's just Twitch being stupid. All right, let's start that. Let's get our raid messages up. Copy and paste the one that has the emotes that you can use. And I'll hopefully be back tomorrow and we'll start Super Mario 64. A good night. I'll see you then. See ya.